Yo, what's good, Bills Mafia? Shout out to the world, but what's good, Bills Mafia? This is Stevie Johnson, Mr. Why So Serious. I just want to let y'all know, make sure y'all check out the Moneyball channel on YouTube. They got all the hottest interviews, and they got the latest with me. Check it out.
Moneyball fam, I have a treat with me today, and we have an actual live interview. Many of you are used to seeing the Zoom interviews that I do. Today I have with me Shaun Dolac. Absolutely stoked to have him on the Moneyball channel, blowing up records at UB and the Maac. Doing his thing, making it look easy out there, man. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me.
How you doing? My pleasure. My pleasure.
This is awesome.
My bodyguard here in the back. This is Don Tober. Don is a good friend of mine, and he was nice enough to let us borrow Quantum for 4 hours. I hope you're ready.
Let's do it. I'll get a little pump while we're at it too.
Yeah, man, you got the stuff. There's some
field, do some training.
Wrestling over there and everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna chop it up a little bit, man. It's a pleasure. You know, I'd like to get to know you, and I'm gonna get rolling here. First things first. Maac Defensive Player of the Year. What an honor.
Yeah.
Right? Maac, in my opinion, does not get the recognition that it should. This is a D1 football conference, and it's always kind of boggled my mind if someone says, but it's the Maac, or but it's the Patriot, or, you know, whatever the league is. Thoughts?
First thought, I hear it all the time. And it's the most frustrating part about it is you work so hard and you see so many players around the league in the Maac who are good players. And I don't think a lot of other conferences or a lot of people realize how many good players come out of the Maac and the level of competition. Each week, each game, it's competitive. And you never know who's going to win. It could be the bottom team in the Maac ranked versus the top team. And that game could be so close. And it all just comes down to preparation and the week and who wants it more. And that's what's so fun about it is anybody can win any given Saturday, any given action week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whenever we play. So it's just
There's always those Tuesday games.
Exactly. Yeah. So they're a lot of fun too as well. But I think it's so competitive, and I don't think a lot of people just don't realize, you know, the amount of talent that can come out of the Maac play as well.
I agree. I think that's very well said, and I agree with you wholeheartedly. I call the Maac kind of a blue collar, Steel City type conference, and it suits Buffalo pretty well. Pittsburgh, Cleveland, all of those Rust Belt kind of towns. That's what the Maac reminds me of. You know what I mean? It's just it's the hard-nosed football. The Maac used to be, I think, a little bit more of the grinded out run type, and now it's opening up a little bit, man. And UB is a fun team to watch. Every year there's just more and more talent with this team. Great year. You had a lot to do with that, man. 8-4, and you guys head to Bahamas Bowl, right?
That's the weather out there.
Bahama Bowl, man. If somebody said, okay, here's the list of all the bowls you can go to, and you see Bahamas, was this like
that was one of them. That was definitely one of them.
That was on the list.
Oh, for sure. I mean, who wouldn't want to go to Bahamas, enjoy a little bit, but also get to play football in a different, you know, area of where you're used to. So it's definitely exciting.
And you guys are playing Liberty.
Yeah.
What's the preparation leading into this? Because all joking aside, a bowl game is a bowl game, and it's you know, it's national recognition.
Yeah.
These games are on every channel. Plus now you can stream them after if you missed it on 20 different networks. What's the preparation going into? You know, kind of what's the headspace going into this for not only you but the team?
Yeah, I think the overall mission for us is to go down and win. There's going to be times where we can relax and, you know, enjoy it, as we should. But then the ultimate goal is, like I said, is to win. And I think Coach Lembo, our head coach, has done a good job preparing us for this opportunity. A couple of weeks ago, you know, just making sure that we're locked in, even when we're, okay, we know our game's 2 weeks away, 3 weeks away. But at the same time, we still got to get these younger guys developed for a chance for maybe next year. So we're just realizing.
It's funny hearing you say younger guys, not to interrupt you, but
yeah, I'm saying freshmen, you know, sophomore, some guys that haven't had a chance to see the field as much this year.
Sure.
Getting those guys a lot of reps during the week of practice where we're not going to have a game that week. It's good for their development, and it's good for the program overall. Like I said, Coach Lembo's doing a fantastic job with that, and just getting us prepared. This week we're just preparing. We travel Wednesday, so just making sure we're fine tuning some things before we go down there. It's gonna be a long day of travel on Wednesday, and then we go back right onto the field Thursday and Friday, and then get ready to go Saturday.
So the travel, straight shot down there, right?
Yeah, about 3.5 hour flight.
Not too much farther than Florida down there. And I wish I'd scheduled things different with you.
Yeah.
I think you'll probably have some good Buffalo support.
Yeah, I think so. We got a good fan base and a lot of alumni traveling down there, so it's always great to see that. And you know, the amount of support that they give us is amazing, especially from this year. Just so much support from the alumni and just fans in general.
I think UB has had a pretty consistent legacy of linebackers, fair to say, prior to Kahlil. But I think Kahlil put UB on the map for linebackers and for defense. And you know what? Maybe I should revert. You kind of did again, right? They're not on the map, not on the back. But there was a time I think where UB football fell off a little bit. 2013, I think, was his big year, if I'm not mistaken, drafted in 14, 5th overall.
Yeah.
And then people started seeing, oh, UB, what is UB? And University of Buffalo. Okay, well, from that time, there's been so much talent. Not everybody's playing in the NFL, but everybody, in my opinion, at some point was NFL talent.
Yeah.
Andreessen now with the Bills, a few. Right behind you, you got Red Murdoch.
Yeah.
This kid, man, Murder and Murdoch. Is that a good? I mean,
Yeah, there you go.
This kid's a savage.
He's a stud.
Yeah.
He's young. He's a little bit younger than me. He's got, I think, 2 years left, and he's going to be really good. And I think he's going to open up a lot of eyes, not just in the Maac, but around the country. He's a young kid who's just savvy. He has it all, and he's willing to learn. That's the thing about him. He's always asking questions in our meetings, always asking me questions, always asking my position coach. And he's going to be one kid that's going to shock a lot of, and he just has it.
He seemed very cerebral in a couple of interviews that I had heard from him. And if I'm not mistaken, was he right behind you in tackles?
Yeah. Oh, he's number 2.
I mean,
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Open to UB people. I mean, 1 and 2, and then all the recognition coming from USC. Forgot the name, 3rd or 4th, and all the analysts and all this stuff, right? And that's where it go back to that UB thing. It just bothers me. You know what I mean? Because the talent, like I said, there's no reason why when you look at top 30s or top this. And let's be honest, Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So many guys have the talent, are 4th, 5th, 6th round. Football, you see it for 7 rounds, I think, in football. I've been doing a ton of baseball interviews with younger guys, and they have 20 rounds. It's crazy because people think that's too much. And then you look at starting rotations and you look at rosters. Round 8, round 12, round 16. And a lot of times, the round 1, the round 2s, they're not playing. It's a lot of reputation. It's a lot of, who's sexy at the time of the draft. There's a lot that goes into it. Were you invited down to the combine?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think those invites come out a little later.
Okay.
I believe, hopefully.
Well, you're going to get the invite, bro.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
the end of February. The reason I ask that, I think that, and I've watched the video with you, work your tail off. That's one thing, I got to give you. Can you work your tail off? You can see the drive, the desire. And Don, you can second this. I mean, from guys that you see here at the gym, equipment all over the place here. He's got sleds, everything else. You see the drive and desire in some folks that you just don't see in others, right?
Yes.
I'm sure you've watched some of this guy's film. Give me your take on where you think he's at. And you've been around NFLers, and, what's your take on this young man right here?
It goes back to what he was saying earlier about preparation. The coaches are getting you guys prepared, but you have to prepare on your own as well. You can't just do what the coach asks, go home play video games. You got to do the work on your own, whether it's seeking out training from someone like myself at another place, going somewhere, getting that additional skill set that maybe you're not getting there, or always something you can learn from someone. And actually, based on what you said, how much of that preparation with your coaching and the staff there, how much of that is in the classroom, watching film and working on position versus actually being on the field playing? Because that's a misconception in Western New York. People think I got to play in order to get better. There's some people that are playing travel football, then their town, and then their school. Playing more football necessarily isn't going to be better. So what is the ratio? Explain to people how much of that is actually on-field work and everything else.
Well, just you're in the gym. Yeah, that's a great question.
No, it's all you have to balance it all out. Whether it is actual schoolwork from school.
Yeah,
make sure
forget about that.
That's great. You got to be good in school because it matters, because how you do in school is how you do on the field.
Yeah.
And then when you bring it to the film watching and with our coach and everything, the amount of hours spent that we're watching with our coach or by ourselves or with our teammates, it's so much, and you have to do it to prepare, because how you prepare is how you're going to play in the game. And failing to prepare is preparing to fail. You know what I'm saying? So, so me and players, I mean, I've heard it before, but we got it came to my match. At times we watch film together, and just being around each other so we can play together on the field and it matches up. And that's what I kind of pride myself in, is the amount of film I watch throughout the week. Over 25 hours of film, and whether that's 3 to 5 hours a day.
It's a lot of fun.
And that's why I think
Because you still have the other stuff to do. It's a lot of fun.
it is, but it's worth it to me, because when you get to that Saturday, all that work that you've done before, you get that confidence on game day.
Yeah.
And you're not looking, I don't know if I saw this, but like you look and you see a formation and you're like, boom, I seen this on film. Now you can kind of anticipate what's about to happen and then play fast. You're not gonna guess that it's happening. You got to react at the end of the day. Like now you have, okay, it could happen. Now you can react just as fast.
And you can play percentages. Right?
Exactly.
You know, you see the Liberty QB doing this 60-70% of the time. I'm gonna go out like a junkyard dog, see if he does that.
Exactly. It also depends on the situation, what down it is. Second and 4, 2nd and 2, 3rd and 3, 4th and 2. What are their consistent plays that you see on film that they're running on these downs in these situations? And it just shows that if you put in the work to watch the film, if you put in that time with your coach to develop your IQ of the game, then it just flows at that point. You can't just show up on a Saturday, show up on game day, and expect you to okay, I'm just going to play ball because I'm an athlete.
You have time to think on the field.
Exactly.
You have to master these techniques. You have to understand what you're seeing,
Mhm.
and then you execute it without thinking because
Yeah.
you've mastered these techniques and you understand
Yep.
where you're supposed to be, what you're supposed to be doing, instead of I should have reacted this way or should have.
Yeah,
done that.
and that's
Good,
just
sorry, go ahead.
no, that's just like another example. Is like when you're on the field, you get muscle memory too. So if you're
Exactly.
performing on the field like in practice, and you're going through the little basics of your drills, whether that's in individual drills and you're doing your basic footwork. Now, if you if you do the basics every single day, your muscle memory is going to be there, and it's just boom. You're not thinking about that during the play. You're able to process the play,
You're running
and then
step.
exactly.
This is why I paid down the big bucks here. Great segue into NFL. In a very relaxed setting like this right here, how much thought have you put into it? How excited are you
Yeah.
going to go back for another season? I guess where are you at? Nothing that you need to add. Nothing's concrete, right?
Yeah.
But where's your headspace with all that right
Yeah.
now? I mean, there is a lot of hype surrounding you, man. You're coming off an incredible season. All joking aside, you are a bright kid. I mean, you're cerebral. I can tell. When I hear other linebackers say this guy's like a big brother to me, like Red said, and some other guys who I've spoken to just say, your faith aside, we'll get into that in a second. But you have a role model type mentality to you. All that wrapped up in a burrito, man. You're what it takes to be somebody in the locker room. So where's your headspace with it?
Yeah. The goal is to play for the National Football League and be there. So I think after this game, I think you'll probably see that that's going to be what's on my mind and what's happening.
Yeah, I think that's smart.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like you said, there's a lot of buzz around me right now, but
There
I
is.
think at the same time, I'm not worried about it. It's like I know how I can perform, and I know the faith that I have in myself and the belief I have in myself, and willing to train and willing to work these last. A lot of people will say that these next 2 months of training is most important, but they don't say what you've been doing your whole life. It's really about what you've been doing your whole life to work up to this moment.
Something got you to where you're at.
Exactly. And I've been preparing for this moment, for my whole life, like I said. These 2 months aren't going to really change much what I've been doing, but it might just tweak a couple things to help. But I'm excited for what's about to come.
How does it feel when you hear, yourself in conversations? Most tackles in D1 football. Still, how does that resonate with you, man? Because, think about that, and then think about maybe 5 years ago, and you just now, who led the nation in tackles? Shaun Dolac, right? And forget the conference, forget any of that stuff, right? That was a conversation 10 minutes ago. I'm talking about right now when you hear that, and Maac Defensive Player of the Year. Is that crazy to hear right now?
It's kind of surreal. It's like I can't process it.
That's what I mean.
I'm so still focused on getting better and
Yeah.
always continue to get better and making sure
Sign
my
of a true
teammates-
competitor, man.
And yeah,
A
just
true
making
leader.
sure my teammates are getting better and pushing them to be the best that they can be. And just kind of leave that impact on them. So it's not really sticking to me.
Yeah.
But I think definitely when I look back, I'm like, well, I did something special. I think
It's there forever. Nobody can take that
yeah,
away
so
from
it's
you.
just like you see all these tackles at the same time, and I got to give credit to my D line. I got to give credit to the guys in the back. It's just like there's so much that goes into playing the game of football. I'm playing linebacker, making sure that guys are in the right spots, guys are in the right gaps. And those D linemen, man, they take a lot of blocks, a lot of double teams for me and Red. So I give those guys a lot of credit too.
Did having Red out on the team and performing at the level that he did that give you a little bit of, it's the best way to word it, a little relief almost,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Like you could take a little bit of weight off your shoulders because of the confidence you had in Red.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, Red's a great player, like I said before, and having him next to me gives me the confidence that, okay, if I don't play this right, or if I shoot the gap and I miss somebody, I know he's going to have my back and he's going to be there, and vice versa. And we have those conversations all the time. And it's like when we're playing a game too, it's like, hey Dolac, or hey Red, I'm about to shoot this. Like, just you got my back, I got you.
Yep.
So it's like having that confidence in each other, and that goes back to the preparation throughout the week,
Love that.
knowing that we're watching film together and knowing we're seeing things that other people may not see, and letting each other know, like, hey, we see this, let's do this. We see that, okay, we're gonna do this. Make sure we have each other's back.
How much communication out on the field? Just to echo what you had just said, and I'll give you an example. I had the Bryan brothers, one of the Bryan brothers on my show. These guys were #1 in the world tennis for 10 years. Twins, identical twins. And what they would say to me when I had Mike Bryan on, he would be like, call it whatever it is, telepathy. People say this and that. I call it communication. But these guys played so long together, and you'll hear this oftentimes with basketball and other sports as well, where they know where each other are going to be. So, tennis, they'd hit it and they'd go up to the net, and the guy knew exactly where the other guy was going to be. Right. And, not to beat a horse here, but with Red and what you just said, how much communication is there on the field? Are you guys screaming at each other, letting each other know?
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of that, and there's a little bit of it's there for
Just
us.
knowing.
Yeah, and then, like I said, that could bring us back to our preparation and the trust that we build throughout the film sessions and throughout just watching it together. But then there's also on the field communication where it's like, okay, I got the headset in my ear, so I got a coach talking to me. So I'm talking to him, hey, once I get the call, I need you to help me out singling to other people so we can get it all across the board. And stuff like little things like that.
Quarterback of the defense.
Yeah, exactly. And then little things just like being on the same page, like when we see something that we've seen on film and it happens, we know how to kind of operate together. It just flows just kind of really well together.
It's a combination of what you're saying and what you're saying is, and this is something that was trying to be taught in youth and all the way up. Understanding your job, your best ability without your ego being in the way and all that, so that the man next to you is doing the same thing for you. And that's where you get that comfort that you're saying that he can be out there knowing he's going to do his best. So he knows the guy next to him is going to do his best, and that it's going to mesh. It's going to work.
That makes sense.
If you're not faithful to the guy next to you, that's when things don't break down.
And it's no secret your faith in Jesus Christ, and I know that this has played a big role in where you are now and in the future. It's something where over the past 6 months or so, and I don't know what it is, maybe just coincidence with who I've been interviewing, but it's become such a focal point with athletes, and it's not always from tread. I think a lot of times people feel like this came because of tragedy or something, and not to get too personal in your life, but the faith and the belief in Jesus Christ and him always having your back and universe and things happening for a reason. Big part of where you're at, right?
Yeah, no doubt.
And what keeps your faith motivated? If you understand that question, what keeps your faith motivated?
Yeah, and just the belief that no matter what I do, I'm always going to be proud of it. And just continuing to do what I believe is right in my morals and my family and just the support that I get. And just knowing, like I said, how proud that it's going to be of me, no matter what I do. And I'm just going to continue to push forward and continue to, help somebody that is struggling themselves, whether it's with Christ and not knowing. I had one of my teammates actually who've been struggling and kind of they asked me, hey, what do you do on a daily basis, or how do you approach believing? And just staying down with him and just talking with him and just giving him my word and my voice just to get him an understanding, not forcing it on him or anything.
Right.
It's just making sure
you don't want to overly
exactly.
Yeah.
And I think just being able to be somebody for somebody that goes and doesn't understand things or is just kind of younger and is developing, just being there for like a guy on the team and just making sure that, when they need somebody, I'm there for them, and just sharing my story, my testimony to more people that are struggling as well. Like you said, there's a lot of things that I've been through in my life, but that's not, Christ has always been a foundation.
Yeah, it wasn't okay. Now I'm going to
exactly. But it just built me stronger, and it's built my strength, my faith stronger. In moments like that, because you have to turn to that.
I truly feel sorry for people that have nothing to believe. And I say that in all sincerity. Not everybody needs to be a Bible thumper, and not everybody needs to have as strong of a belief. Like myself personally, I absolutely believe in karma, universe, and to me, you get back what you put out.
Yeah.
It's about withdrawals and deposits. Asking, taking. I hope you're willing then to go do things for others.
Exactly.
And the universe works that way. Let's get into a few fun things, man. Is there a girlfriend in Shaun Dolac's life?
Yes, sir.
Sorry, ladies. We had heartbreaking going on. I had to mention it. So 3.5 years.
Nicole, she's very supportive. And she's a nurse. So I mean, she's very independent as well. Yeah. She's wonderful. She's very important to me, and I'm just so thankful for her.
Who gave you a shout out, man, when I just had him on? Jackson Strong, the baseball Canisius?
Yeah, okay, yeah. He's in the MLB, he got drafted.
He got drafted.
Yeah, I remember.
Padres. And he said, Shout out to Shaun Dolac, by the way. He started like giving your accolades, and he made it sound. Jackson, you'll see this. Yeah, he's a solid dude.
Oh,
He spoke very highly, man, and I saw that that he meant it. So, ladies, we did break your heart with that, but a couple more fun things, man, that I have jotted down here. Who is your favorite actor, and who is your favorite actress, and why?
Jeez. Put me on
Giving
the
the
spot.
people what they want. You know what I'm saying?
Put me on the spot. Favorite actor, Denzel Washington. There you go.
Really?
Hey.
Denzel has been my favorite actor since Glory.
Yeah, okay.
There's a movie called
Glory.
Glory he did. It's 88, 89. Civil War movie.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
One of his breakouts, man. Matthew Broderick and
Yeah.
him. It's about the first black regiment going and fight. Amazing. But it's crazy because when I hear Denzel Washington, I have no hair on the arms, but it would have stood up.
Yeah.
Because like I'm a certain type of person. Denzel Washington, that dude, man, he's the one. What about actors? Can't go by looks. You got to
Oh,
go
yeah.
by. All right.
I'm not even I don't even know really actresses' names or
I-
anybody's names, honestly, but
Actress is a tough one.
yeah. Let's see. Stumped.
Mary Kate Olsen, Ashley Olsen.
I have to put a
The girl
face.
from the girl from Boy Meets World.
I got to put a face to the name, so it's like
All right,
that's
we'll
why
give
it's
that
hard
some
for me.
time.
But,
If I'm ever in a school play, that's who you pick.
You worked out
Tried to
today.
save
Right? You were with the team.
yeah.
What'd you have in the iPad? What were you listening to?
Oh,
What is your hype music?
so I just played Higher by Creed.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, he's singing for us now.
No.
What's this thing with? Oh, it's Nickelback. I think it's
Oh, Nickelback's even worse.
I like Nickelback, but I like Creed
Dude,
too.
Creed gets
Yeah.
stuff.
Actually, I like Creed a lot. Yeah, Hire's good stuff. Are you predominantly rock or hip? You mix it up.
I'd say it depends the mood, obviously. I think if it's like I'm working out or if it's like a game day,
Yeah.
it's more of like rock, classic rock too.
Okay, yeah.
A little bit.
Old
So
soul.
a little bit
You're an
of
old soul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
definitely an old soul. But I like to, mix it up a little bit.
I've been asking a lot of these baseballers what their walk-up song music is, and you'd be shocked how much I hear. Is that big in the locker room at UB? Not really.
No,
It
no.
must be a baseball thing,
No,
man.
I mean, maybe a couple of offensive linemen, just throwing on randomly or
Offensive
something.
linemen, man. They're
You never know what they're going to put on the music.
It's a
So
little different. They're like those hockey goalies. Shout out E Wood, man. E Wood's a big fan of the show, so shout out E
it's
Wood.
awesome.
I work with a lot of old linemen.
Yeah.
Old linemen are
Different
unique
breeds.
group.
Yeah, they're like the goalies.
You gotta
and
be
linemen.
those.
Love those guys though. They're fun. They're fun to be around too.
Have you? Has Kahlil reached out to you at all? Do you have a relationship with him at all?
So he actually on Twitter he sent me out it's just kind of not a private message, but like just in public, just a congratulations
Good. Yeah.
on beating his I think career tackles it was.
Okay.
So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that is cool. And I think going back to what we've kind of just pounded here is, the ego. I always love when you get that from somebody who said everybody pays attention to stats, right? And as much as we try not to or whatever, man, if somebody goes out on the court and they need 7 3-pointers to hit X, they're paying attention.
Yeah.
That they save that ball.
For
You
sure.
know, if you need your 400th strikeout, you save that ball. Your tackle, you might save that ball, whatever it is. But then for whoever that was, that whose record got broken, to give a shout out to you, man. Respect Kahlil Mack. That's
Yeah, no
that's
doubt.
really cool. And listen, breaking records. That dude still is performing at such an incredible level.
For sure.
And you had 5.5 sacks. So you got to have
Versatile.
to. Yeah, for sure, man. It's overall game. You got anything else, Don, for this guy?
Just congrats on everything that you've accomplished so far, and then I am looking forward to continuing to make more accomplishments. They'll be watching closely.
Thank you, sir.
I'm stoked to follow your career, man. I really am. You get I call it generational talent. I don't think I'm reaching too high with that. You know what I'm saying? I think it's generational talent. It's not easy to make. You can trip and fall and call that a half tackle. When you're making 19, I think you're high.
Yeah.
You're doing something right, bro.
Thank you.
But thanks again for coming on the show,
thank
man.
you.
Hopefully it wasn't too difficult, right?
No, that's a breeze.
Right?
That's
Easy
awesome.
breezy, man.
I'm
No,
getting
it's great.
comfortable, so it's cool.
All right, man. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Appreciate
It was
it.
fun.
Thank you.